What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Alright, we're coming back to Xdinary Heroes. Yes, indeed. Xdinary Hero fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This is a request from Charles B, and this is actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of March for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Charles. I hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this song by Xdinary Heroes called Sucker Punch.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth!
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, as always, Charles has provided me with a little introduction to the song to give me a little scope. So here we go. Last month you reacted to Haircut, which was the lead single off of their second EP, Overload. Yeah, leave my hair alone. This time it's Sucker Punch, which is a non-single track off of their debut EP, Hello World. On August 2nd, 2022, Xdinary Heroes released on their YouTube channel a live in-studio performance of Sucker Punch. In your first reaction to Xdinary Heroes for their debut song, Happy Death Day, when you heard that one is on keyboard, another one's on synth, you were confused. Yeah, it was. Because they can be the same thing. So at the start of this video, right at the first side of the band, pause, so you can note the difference in setup between the keyboardist, Jung-soo, who will be on my left, okay, and the one on synth, Ode, I guess, yeah, pronounced like the English word ode, okay, who will be on the right, so you can see why each are considered to be different. As of me writing this live performance of Sucker Punch is over 700,000 views on YouTube. Wow, okay. Unfortunately, the YouTube upload did not have any English subtitles translating the lyrics. Also unfortunate is that up to this point, all existing English translations of Sucker Punch by fans have been low and of poor quality. For shame. Shame on those people.
Apologize!
So I personally commissioned a new and improved English subtitle translation, added them on screen as English subtitles to the live in-studio performance, and uploaded it to my channel at Odyssey. So for those of you watching, if you want to enjoy this live, if you want to enjoy the live in-studio performance of Sucker Punch with a new high-quality English subtitle translation, then please click the link below to the video at my Odyssey channel. In other words, if you want to enjoy the video without DH pausing and ruining the live performance, click on the link and enjoy it at your own leisure, which I always tell you guys to do anyway. So this was on his Odyssey channel. This was posted by Running Man Subs. Or Da Running Man Subs, my apologies, Da Running Man Subs. And the video so far has 22 views. I know this is gonna sound heartless, but not gonna get you there, sorry. Look, I'm sure the video's fine, okay? I'm sure the song is fine. I'm just saying, 22 views, it's not gonna get you there. I know that's not fair, but look, life is not fair. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description. Yes, it will be, for your viewing pleasure at your leisure, so please go and do it. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready, let's do this. Get those fingers up, because here we go. All right, here we go. Xdinary Heroes, Sucker Punch, live clip, new and improved English translation. There it is. There be the rub.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Okay, I'm supposed to pause right at the beginning. Look at the setup. What am I looking for? It looks like they look the exact same. So on my left, this is the keyboard and this is the synth. This is Ode, and this is just sung. Okay? I don't see a difference. I really don't, but maybe we'll hear a difference.
I think it's now 미쳐 돌아가는 세상이야 또 놈새 필요해 마지막 개방에 나지막히 남은 인류에 더 이승을 부려대는 슈퍼베리해 두 발을 디뎌 on the ground 겁쟁이는 믿을 수 없나 네가 알던 세상을 뒤집어 어둠이 더 커 보이는 밤 이길 수 없는 악몽 같아도 You don't know I wait for our day 한 번 먹어도 더 큰 술을 난 준비해
I know there's a big cultural gap between what Europeans consider to be rock and metal, what Americans consider to be rock and metal, what Japanese consider to be rock and metal, and what Koreans consider to be rock and metal. I know at the bottom of that totem pole is the Koreans. Their idea of rock and metal is not anywhere near as hard and edgy and driving as like what Americans and Europeans and Japanese consider to be rock and metal. They're far more pop influenced, and I know Charles has told me this on several occasions. And it's clear as day. There is a clear difference. This is very poppy. It has the rock in there, though. More than a couple of the other songs I've heard from Xdinary Heroes. If I'm being honest, I think out of all the songs I've heard from Xdinary Heroes, this might actually be the most rock that I've heard from them. It's still poppy as hell. Do not get things misconstrued. Do not take what I'm saying as anything else other than this is the most rock sounding that I've heard them do. It's still poppy. Absolutely, it's poppy as hell. It is. You could hear the teeny bopper girls out there just losing their minds over this. You absolutely could. But at the same time, gotta get credit where credit's due. So it is the most rock sounding that I've heard from them. But yeah, it is still poppy as hell.
이길 수 없는 악몽 같아도 Don't know but I'm ready 한 방 먹어도 더 큰 술을 난 준비해.
Right there, that section we just heard, the feel switched up. They did it before too. It almost, not like a swing feel, but definitely more of like a laid back. And the thing is, the drums aren't even playing. You could hear it being done in the guitars though. That little feel change. And it's subtle. It's really, really subtle. But it sounded good. And I did pick up on it. I did notice it. That kind of backbeat feel. Almost borderline swing. I mean, it almost is. And then they go right back. As soon as the guitar kicks back fully in again, it goes right back into a straight feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. As opposed to ba da ba da da ba da da ba da 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 da. You know, you see what I mean? You add that ba 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 ba, kind of a swing feel to it almost, as opposed to ba 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 ba. You know, it's supposed to be straight ahead. Anyway, it's a nice little switch up. It's very subtle. I almost didn't catch it, but it was there. It was well done too. Let's keep going here.
Feels like sucker punch. 내 세계 한 발도 날려. Sucker punch. 이 순간만을 기다린 듯이 Super super bad 세상에 안 바뀌어도 눈 뜨고 이제 더 볼 수 없는 걸. Yeah. 이끌리는 대로 you to the side. 선택해 open your eye. 숨죽여나 봐 now is right. 이리저리 방황해도 어두움 속에 저 빛을 찾지. You don't know what happens in the end. 가만히 있는 것보다 나.
Right back in the straight again.
Super super bad 세상에 안 바뀌어도
It's got drive. It's got energy.
더 볼 수 없는 걸.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, out of all the songs I've heard from Xdinary Heroes, this is probably the most rock sounding that I've heard from them. It's still poppy as hell. You know, it's clearly poppy, but it definitely has a certain amount of edge to it and a certain amount of that rock feel to it. So we're getting better. I feel like we're in the right direction. Let's hopefully let's start to lose a little more of the poppiness and bring more of the rock edge into it. You know, that'd be nice. It'd be nice. Hope it happens. We'll pray for it to happen. Let's pray to the rock and metal gods that let us help these poor boys find their way into the world and the salvation of the rock and metal world. Can I get a hallelujah?
I am the hype!
Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Xdinary Heroes with Sucker Punch. This was a request from Charles B. And this was actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of March for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Charles. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay, I thought about it, and I'm gonna say some things that I'm gonna do my best to not offend anybody. I'm gonna do my best not to come off as insensitive or anything like that, but at the same time, folks, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and I'm gonna shoot from the hip, and I'm sorry if it offends you, but at the same time, what I feel is what I think. So you want to hold that against me, you're more than welcome to, but you're gonna be holding that up for a very, very, very long time. I hope you've worked on your traps and your delts. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's start off with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Out of the 3 songs that I have done now for Xdinary Heroes, I can say, without question, to me personally, this feels the most rock. This feels the most rock sounding song that I've heard from them. Not to say that the other 2 didn't have rock sound to them as well, but the other 2 songs sounded more poppy to me than, like, okay, here's the rock, here's the pop. The other 2 songs, wham, it was way up here with the pop with a little bit of rock. This song, we saw that gap close. Now, they are not even close to being equal yet, but we're talking about the difference between an 80-20 mix to about a 75-25 mix, okay? Maybe 70-30, somewhere in there. There's still a clear gap, okay? There is, but we're getting there. We are getting there. We're progressing. Now, this is where I'm gonna say some things that some people are gonna be probably a little taken back by what I say, and they may misconstrue what I'm saying and take it completely out of context. And if they do, that's on them. It's not on me, okay? I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and that's really all there is to it. When Elvis Presley first came on the scene, and he blew everyone away with what he was doing. Why? It wasn't so much what he was doing, it was how he was doing it. If you really look at what Elvis Presley was singing and what he was playing, it really wasn't any different all that much from what was being done. You know, from a chordal standpoint, from a chordal structure standpoint, from a chordal flow standpoint, following the songs that he wrote were very conducive to what was happening. It was all in the approach. It was in how he did it that was blowing people away, blowing people's minds, and making people go, oh my God, we've never heard that before. Yes, you have. You just haven't heard it done like this, okay? The same thing, from what I understand from Charles, is happening in Korea right now as we speak. There is this music evolution that's happening where rock, which has never really been, I'm not going to say accepted, but it has never been viewed as popular. It's never been viewed as mainstream media. But that's starting to come around now. It's starting to change, and the change is going to be slow. Look at the evolution of rock. Let's just stick with here in America, okay? Let's look at the evolution of rock in America. All right, now let's look at some of the bands that you had before, okay? I mean, good Lord. Back in the 40s, you had like the Ink Spots, you know? But if you look at bands like the Ink Spots, or you look at bands like, how about, shoot, who are some ones that are coming? This is why I hate it when all these bands just come flying through my head, and I'm trying to grab one, I just can't. But you look at all those bands that were around in the late, the mid to late 40s to early 50s, right? And then here comes Elvis, taking the exact same chordal flow songs, the same chordal structures, same chordal flows, same melodic lines, but he put an edge onto them. He did something different with the same songs, but he just did his own thing with them. His own attitude, his own energy, and that's what blew the roof off the place. Now, from Elvis, you evolve. Now let's go overseas to England, where now all of a sudden you have the Beatles, right? Okay, taking what Elvis did, putting their own spin on it, and giving a little more of an energy, a little more of an edge to it, a little more oomph to it, if you will. Now you got the Beatles, right? From the Beatles, here we come to the Rolling Stones. From the Rolling Stones, here we come now to Led Zeppelin. You see the evolution. It's slow. We're talking about from the 50s, we're talking about a 2-decade difference. The Black Sabbath is in there, dear Lord. Yeah, but it evolved over decades. Imagine for a second, I could get really extreme here, and I could say, let's take Soilwork and put them in the 50s. Let's get a time machine. Put Soilwork in the time machine and zip them back to the 1950s. Let's take Nightwish and zip them back to the 1950s. I could say that. They'll all be burned at the stake more than likely. They will bring back lynchings for them more than, not lynchings, but they'll bring back, burning at the stake. They're witches, type of thing, but let's go simpler. How about this? Let's just take, I don't want to say Black Sabbath. Let's take Led Zeppelin, okay? Let's take the Rolling Stones. Let's take the Rolling Stones from the 70s and put them back in the 50s before Elvis. What a jump that would have been, right? And let's be honest here. Would it have been as, this is my point. This is my closing arguments here. How acceptable would that have been? How accepted by the mass streaming media would that have been? Back in the 1950s, would the Rolling Stones have gotten radio play? No, they would not have. They would have been shunned. They would have been absolutely shunned. Nobody would have played them, okay? You had to go through the progressive steps. You had to have Elvis first. Then you had to have the Beatles. Then from the Beatles, you had to have the Rolling Stones. Then from the Rolling Stones, you had to have Led Zeppelin. And then, now you're moving up. Now you're moving up. Now it evolves. Now it's getting edgier and edgier and edgier and edgier and edgier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. Okay, great. You had that evolution. Same thing with Korea. They're evolving. I see the evolution, and I'm hearing the evolution too, just within the band. It is getting a little more rock. It's still poppy as hell. It is, okay? Let's not mince words here. It is still a poppy band, okay? A boy band playing rock instruments. Let's call a spade, all right? But it is getting better. It is getting a little more rock, little by little. And in 20 years, they're probably going to be a lot more rock. I'll bet you anything. I don't know if it's going to take 20 years. I'm willing to bet probably within the next, let's be safe here. I'm going to say within the next 5 to 8 years, we're going to see more of a 50-50 blend, okay? Now, will it ever be 80% rock and 20% pop? Are we ever going to get to that point? I don't know. I'm maybe. It really depends on how popular it becomes and how much the edge feels the need for the feel for the edge to be pushed. And, how far can we push the envelope? If that happens, like it did here in America, like it did over in Europe, then yes, we will see the tables flop and we will see 80% rock, 20% pop. But at the same time, if it gets to a point of comfort and it gets to that 50-50 blend where it's like 50% rock, 50% pop, and people are going to be like, that's comfortable. Let's not rock the boat. Let's keep it here. Okay, well, then that's where it's going to stay, at least for a while, before the kids start going, well, we're hearing all this music from America. We're hearing all this music from Europe. We're hearing all this music from Japan. We're hearing all this music from South America, and it's more, there's more edge to it. It's heavier. It's rocky. It's more metal, and we want that. Then, of course, record labels are going to go, well, we better give the kids what they want because that's who's, buying our music. You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be an evolution. There has to be an evolution. It can't jump from Elvis to Twisted Sister. It's a terrible idea, you know, or don't ask me why I pulled Twisted Sister. I'm just thinking of frontmen. Some of the most outrageous frontmen ever, Dee Snider. Couldn't imagine that, you know, just, you know, one day it's Elvis, and the very next day, like, seriously, on a Monday you got Elvis Presley, on the next day, on Tuesday, here comes Twisted Sister. They would be burned alive, I guarantee you. You're never going to see that jump. It's just not going to happen. So you got to go with the flow. You got to give it the time it's due. And I understand that. I get it, okay? As far as the song goes, like I said, it's definitely the rockiest song I've heard. It's definitely the most rock-sounding song I've heard from them. It is still poppy. It still has a ways to go, but I am seeing a slight evolution, and that's good. I can see kind of the reins being loosened up a little bit. Vocally, it sounded fine. You know, instrumentally, it sounded fine. I still do not see the reason for two piano players. One on synth, one on keys. I don't see the need. I just don't see it. You have two hands. One can work one keyboard, one can work the other. One can work the synth, one can work the keyboard. It's not hard. You see a lot of other keyboard players do it. So why the need for two? Honestly, I don't think there is a need. I just think they wanted to find something for one of their vocalists to do, because they don't want that one vocalist standing there doing nothing, you know, playing no instruments while everybody else is playing instrument, because then people are going to make the assumption that that guy standing there without playing an instrument is all of a sudden the lead vocalist. They don't want that, because everybody is getting a shot at singing the vocals, and that's just going to confuse people. So I think they kind of just put something in front of him to do. Like, here it is. Here's the synthesizer. Here's what you got to do. Do it. And he's like, okay. And then, you know, then he can do his singing, and at least he contributes musically doing something. Is it necessary? No, it is not necessary. But I guess for the sake of the structure of the band and the appearance of the band, for the visual aspect of the band, to some extent, I guess it is kind of necessary. So yeah, fine, whatever. The drumming sounded good. The guitar playing sounded good. Vocal sounded good. Everything sounded really good. I like that feel change. I can't get over that feel change. Where it wasn't really a swing, but it kind of felt like a swing feel. All happened within the guitar. No, there was no drums playing. It was all in the subdivision of the guitar, in the feel and the layback in the guitar. That was really cool. It was subtle. It was really, really subtle, and I dug that. Anyway, sorry for ranting, and like I said, if I offended anybody, sorry if I offended you, but not sorry. Anyway, 7.8. It's a really good song. I do feel good with that score. I am seeing the evolution, and I hope they continue to evolve, and hopefully one day we will get at least a 50-50 blend of pop and rock. That would be nice. If we can get to that point, I won't be thrilled, but I'll at least be happy about it. Anyway, 7.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.